Hi everybody, thanks for joining me. And this reading is for Libra for the 28th of January 2019. And it's a general reading, so it may not suit everyone, but hopefully there's a message here just for you. Enjoy. Hi Libra, thanks for sticking with me this week, because this is a little bit late for you, but here we go. We've got it now. Let's get started. Now we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Cups, and the King of Cups. Now, have you maybe pulled away from people a little bit? Because your focus is more on the materialistic side of life. Your focus is on earning money and getting things, and being around people isn't that important for you. In fact, being around certain people just seems to make you grumpy and argumentative. So it brings out your antisocial side. So it could be that you are not good at suffering fools in your eyes. Now, could it be that someone comes into your world or you meet someone through business that sparks an interest and you want to get to know, you're pulled to that person, and you're attracted to them, and this is something, in moving on to the King of Cups, that you want to find out a little bit more about, because this person here is like a siren to you. You want to follow them and find out about them, despite not really wanting to take time away from work. This person seems to cross that barrier. Let's take these cards over to the side and find out what the deeper reading's about. Now, we have the Eight of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Tower card. Now, are you maybe realising that the world that you have created is not as perfect as you thought? Have you maybe realised that there's a chink in the armour? That, what you have is not as wonderful. And it could be that you realise that what is missing is having people, or certain people, round about you. So it could be that, you want to go and explore, and moving on to the Page of Wands, that you want to spend time with this person, because you realise the life you've been living has, socially restricted you. The world you've had is not as perfect as you thought. And you do realise that, you are putting yourself in a vulnerable position, and you don't want to look ridiculous, because, you have this world here that you don't want to interrupt the flow in, even though you realise that it's not perfect. So this is something that you are exploring, and it has opened your eyes up to, a different world. that you have maybe restricted yourself. You've holed yourself up in a tower of work, and people are not allowed to get to you. So this is all of these barriers that you have put in place are all tumbling to the ground because of your curiosity about what's missing. Let's move on now, and we have the Knight of Wands in reverse, we have the Justice card, and we have the Four of Cups in reverse. Now, do you maybe realise that your life before has been all about you? And that, because you've not really wanted to spend your time around people, that when they began to annoy you, that you could be a little bit of a bully, and, a little bit of going out your way to, begin arguments, so that in a way you're creating a barrier, because you're pushing them away by causing arguments. And that does have its consequences, because if you are causing arguments in order to keep barriers, and it's something that you've realised that it has been a way of keeping people back. I'm just repeating. I realise I'm repeating myself here, but I'm trying to get to the gist of what these three cards are saying. Even though you're aware that you're going to have to pull these walls down, you've also realised that the way you behave in company is keeping those walls up. And there's a cause and effect of that behaviour. There's a karma around you now. So you may not get the responses that you wanted now that you're more interested because of your behaviour in the past. Does that sound a bit more logical? Not that it's funny, but I'm just struggling to get that across. Now, this has been a difficult thing to accept, and it's made you feel a little bit low. Now that you want to explore, the opportunity may not be open to you. And it's something that may have you reacting in ways that are not healthy. They're not going to encourage people to come towards you. Now, let's move down to the next set of cards, and we have the Two of Wands, the Two of Swords in reverse, and the Three of Swords. Now, you do have a plan of trying to, involve yourself in people's lives now. And you have, got this intention, this plan, and you're determined that you're going to find out about someone, about the person that has opened up this path for you. You know, and it's not going to be easy. But you have the abilities to pull this off. And although it does feel like, you know, you're lying to yourself, that you don't really want to be in this vulnerable place, that, you know, you should be going back to, you know, focusing on your business. But the thing is that even though you have those feelings that, you know, you are trying to ignore the fact that people may not want to be around you. And you're wanting to explore these feelings for whoever it may be. But the harsh reality is that because of the way things have been, it may not be that easy to break down all the walls. You know, and it's not as easy to to take that impression of creating arguments and causing problems. It's not that easy to, you know, separate yourself from that, to, you know, get that image to be removed, because you've spent so long building it up that now you're on the other side of it. The karma is kicking your bum, because, you know, you're not getting the responses that you want now that you're interested. You know, and there's also, you know, a little bit of fear there, that the rejection, that you may not get the love that you feel that you deserve. And because of all this, you know, low feelings and insecurity, have you maybe went to someone for advice because you feel that you are not being fairly judged? And it could be that, you know, this person comes up with a strategy to help you, you know, involve yourself in people's lives and get rid of all these negative feelings. And moving on to the Five of Cups. Now, could part of the advice also be that you need to stop looking to the past? Because if that is all you're doing, then you're never going to get past that. Because you're always going to be, you know, beating yourself up about how you treated people in the past. You know, and there will always be then suspicions that people are going to want to get you back in some way, that there's going to be, you know, the effects of what you've done. So, you know, you are worried about the karma of these past actions now that you want to, you know, be in a place where you're wanting to find out about the social side of life, and it's maybe not happening the way you planned. I am kind of struggling to get the interpretation of this reading across to you. So I do realise that I'm repeating myself quite a lot, and I'm struggling over the particular words that are more relevant here. So I'm not sure that this reading is coming across the way that it should. Now, we've brought these three cards back in, and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Cups, and the King of Cups. Now, you have been pretty business orientated to the point that you've not been interested in people, that earning money and having all of those things were your priority. But, it could be that you have realised that this is all catching up to you, that when you go home, there isn't anyone there. And this is something that you want to create. Because could it be now that you want someone to be there? That you've found someone that has created emotions that are moving towards becoming overwhelming. And you want to follow your heart in this. You want to spend time and create a loving environment for this person. And you want to be loved in return. And even though you're still no pushover, you still have the focus and the determination to provide a life for yourself. But you want, your heart to be fulfilled at the same time. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. And I'm really not sure that I have got the energy of this reading across in this video. But even if just one or two of these cards and my interpretation of them have, helped you to see things in a slightly different way or been relevant to a question that you've had, then, that's the best that I can hope for today. All right, now please take care in whatever it is that you're doing, and I'll see you next week. Bye, Libra.